How do you see those pictures? People often ask me. How do you see those compositions?
People? What people?
I don't know. People. Photographers.
Oh, carry on.
Well, the answer is with practice, I guess. I practice so that vision comes easy to me now. And I want to show you how I have learned that in this next video in the series. So taking a picture, a good picture, is all about recognizing compositions, good compositions, along with an understanding of light and being able to make sense of all the clutter and distractions that can spoil a good image. There's certain rules of composition or guidance that, if you adhere to them, can help you construct a nice composition from the view presented in front of you. But you still have to be able to spot a potential view in order to then apply those rules of composition. So let's take a look at one of the ways I practice that. Taking good pictures and seeing a potential shot starts before you even pick up a camera, the theory of that skill. The practice that is required to be able to see those compositions within a view is vital. And as I say, begins before you even pick up a camera. I think about photography 24/7. Even when I'm not thinking about photography, I am thinking about photography. When I don't have a camera in my hand, I'm still thinking about photography. I've spent the last 30 years framing up the world into virtual compositions when I'm out and about. I could be going to the shops, walking the dog. I don't have a dog, but when I did have a dog, I was thinking about compositions. When going to work, coming home from work, sitting on a bus, whatever. If you're not spending that useful time framing up the world, then you're not preparing yourself for your next outing with your camera. All those wonderful potential compositions you're going to capture should be practiced and considered all the time. Frame up those trees using the rule of thirds. Compose that view across the park thinking about available foreground. How would you make the most of today's interesting sky? What would be the best focal length to compose that bus stop or that bench across the road there? Or that table outside the cafe? Those pylons around the backfield are a real eyesore. Or are they? Think about foreground, midground and background always. Horizontal or vertical? What would be the best for that view ahead? Yes, it may only be the local bus stop or a lamppost, but would horizontal or vertical be the best for a shot of that? Look at that church, look at the spire. There's a wide shot there, but it's also a telephoto one. How many different ways could you capture this landmark? Look at the way that pathway leads you to the entrance of your local Sainsbury's or the main road out of town. Now that's a leading line. All these techniques you use out on location with your camera should be practiced and perfected before you even get there. Don't wait until you're stood behind a tripod before considering how foreground works or how to capture a sense of depth in the view. Have a data bank of knowledge up here, ready to calculate the best option out there. This of course may not be a technique used by everyone, but some of the photographers you admire will have their own experience. They've been to that location, they've done this type of shot before, they're working to memory, they've captured lots of mountain views before, or they've visited many coastlines to shoot, so they can see similarities to what they've captured before. They've practiced. That practice takes time, however. They may have been shooting for many years, especially if they're established pros, so they have that experience to draw from. But you can start building up your experience now. If you're an enthusiastic amateur who is keen to improve, your time of learning will be more limited. You may only be able to get out on the occasional weekends to shoot, and during this pandemic, sadly, that has been reduced even more. But you could still keep practicing in the meantime. So you can actually do this virtually or with the camera in your pocket. Yes, everyone carries a camera with them now, which is something I wish I'd done more back in the day, but now that is even easier to do, of course. Use your phone to capture and practice ideas. Just like a sketchbook, use it to sketch ideas and play with compositions. Have fun whilst you practice. Use different apps to achieve different looks and effects. I'm a big fan of the Hipstamatic app for the iPhone, and I love practicing shots wherever I go with this app. Not all the shots work, but I'm experimenting and playing with new ideas, all of which is helping me improve as a photographer for when I use my Olympus cameras. In fact, I never refer to my Olympus cameras as my big camera. Well, they're not that big really, especially compared to my iPhone Plus. I see my phone as an additional camera to my ONDs. Photographers often caption a picture that they post on social media with "this was taken with just their phone," and they may return to shoot it again with their big camera. Well, for me, no need. I've captured it with a camera. This is often good enough. I'm practicing, but I also have a quality result because these phone cameras offer amazing quality too. But if you do see your phone as a lesser quality than your main camera, then by all means return with your big camera when you get the chance. That's the whole idea. You practice the shot with the camera in your pocket, but now you can capture the image with the best tool for the job if you want. You've taken the test shot, considered the possibilities, and now you're ready to commit with your main camera. You've practiced, you're prepared, you've used that moment well. Now you can return to capture a first-class result. So that's taking virtual pictures. And that's how I practice and train my eye day to day. In the next video, I want to talk about my training ground, the place I go to practice with my camera to again improve as a photographer between shoots. Oh, and by the way, you don't need a website, I know, as you've no doubt already got one, but you may need an inspiring photography subscription, and I have one of those for you instead. E6. Everything you could ever want from a feature-packed photo subscription. See the link below, and I'll see you on the next video.